All right, so I moved some things around. Apologies to anyone that wanted to talk about branded electronic shows in an hour, but we're going to go ahead and talk about it because we have Cheese and Potsy on, and I figured they didn't want to talk about the bylaws and the articles of incorporation. Now we talked about this.
We do.
We talked about this a little bit in the last session. So anybody who's picking this up on the recording, you can go back. It's youtube.com at Friends of CC Music. In case you're seeing this on PeerTube and it didn't get the other one didn't get done, but the previous one is called Constitutional Convention : Community Building. So let me move over to. I'm gonna go ahead and close this so don't get confused.
Good night. Okay. All right, dude. You go to bed?
All right. Oh, they're out of order now, slightly, because I moved it. All right. Let me go back to. Actually, I've got this up in another window, so let me just pull it over.
Link to the chat, man. Go in your Gmail. I send you a link to the chat. We got Doug. We got William on. We got the CC chat. It's in.
I had it up here. Okay, so.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I did in prep for this is I put out some pilots. So I did like this one I called it the origin story, but I kind of like the idea was that it would be sort of like a look at copyright. Jessica Harrison and I are going to do a copyright history interview in February. We don't have it planned. I wanted to have her on as part of this my pilot series, but she was like, I totally want to do it. I just can't do it then, and I feel like doing the copyright history thing is probably worthwhile, even if it's a one-off. So we're gonna do that. The second episode, Sam and I did. You guys were on with Sam, right?
Yeah. I think I did like the earlier time zone version, and I think I only had Sam on one time.
Yeah.
All right.
So he and I did a net label show, and the idea there is that we'll focus specifically on net labels, and it'll be more focused than just like all of CC Music. So we can talk about different curators, and obviously those will be a way for people to what are you guys laughing at?
Let's get that Long John cam. Yeah, I don't think he got the microphone set up.
Long John he's full screen and he looks like he doesn't know where he is.
There you go.
Okay, we didn't know if
he had his mic working or what. He's looking at the fishbowl at us.
Yeah.
I think I got Doug's screen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering what that was.
Yeah, so I was going over the shows that we did. So this session we're talking about potentially doing a show or shows on the Friends of CC Music, maybe the website, maybe the YouTube. That's part of the discussion is where we want to do this. In the past, I was like, oh yeah, we should definitely do it on YouTube because it just syncs straight to PeerTube, but the sync hasn't been working that well lately, so I guess that should be part of the discussion. But anyway, so this would be like a more potentially more academic sort of show with the copyright stuff. The net label show would just be I don't know if that would be me and Sam or who would do that. I mean, the idea for these was that they were ideas. They weren't necessarily like things that I would be doing, and maybe they would like inspire somebody else, but potentially I could do them. But the net label show, maybe we pick a net label every week and play their music. There's a few different ways that we could do that. Maybe we should look at the views on YouTube as well, because the PeerTube views are pretty shit.
Well, yeah, I think. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. I
But if you're doing a label a week, like if they don't have YouTube content, then
well, that's the thing about OBS is it doesn't need to be YouTube.
Well, yeah. Well, and what I was gonna say was,
but then you're gonna produce your whole show in OBS, stream it, or
stream it on OBS.
Okay.
Sorry, I wasn't going into that.
All I was meant to say was, for example, if as earlier you mentioned Free Music Archive and CC Mixer, doing focuses on artists on those particular launch pads, via.
Well, those sites are kind of all encompassing.
Well, they're all
encompassing,
they're all encompassing. But I'm just all I'm saying
we're talking about like net labels.
Okay, well, I'm
that release.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying that perhaps an approach like that, because
even though
not weekly,
are like collectives,
not weekly,
not like individual labels.
But as a show of good faith, showcasing other platforms.
Right. Yeah. No, I think I get what Jesus is saying. It's like so that could potentially be part of a net label show, and then you take a week and you do Jamendo. I think that makes sense. I mean, maybe less so with Free Music Archive because they have curators.
A collection of net labels to begin with. So
yeah.
Well, so, it's a collection of net labels,
But I think
that's like showcasing them all,
But overstating the point, though, I mean, it comes off in a sense that it's like, okay, well, it's all a community.
Well, I think especially, I mean, one way you could do it is, that was just Sam and me, but one way that I think would be good to do it, if like the scheduling across time zones again is complicated, but if we could get the person from the net label to come on and be a part of that, that'd be great. And then that makes more sense with like the FMA and Jamendo, because you have somebody coming on from their platform and talking about it and stuff like that. And so even if
actually really showcase it in a sense that
hold on. Well, then forget about time zones. They just produce a segment or a program or whatever, upload it to YouTube, announce that it's there, and people can watch it at their leisure. Because the whole streaming thing and the time zone things is like can kill some things. So it might be better to make a YouTube account and then just upload whatever they talk about. I mean, unless it's going to be an interactive forum, people can ask questions.
Yeah. So the idea would be that it's like whoever the host is. Let's say it's me. I'd be like talking to them about totally.
I mean that's fine talking to whoever, but like just a general audience, they need to be interacting with it with questions and whatnot.
Well, yeah, I think if, for example, if the
difference with like streaming it or just like produce a program to provide information.
Yeah, even if it was a program that was produced, it could still be exclusive, like something that they put together. That, for example, if they sent to you and said, okay, if you want to do a segment on Jamendo, if you want to do a segment on Music Archive, well, here's what we have put together, and showcase this within a segment that you do, which I think if it's just on YouTube, then it becomes unpersonalized, and then it's like they might as well just do that on their own, and it makes more of a separation instead of a building in the community.
Hold on. Here's the thing. You can use the OBS. You can contact the people. You can put together an episode, and then we release it through whatever YouTube channels we're operating with.
Yeah.
And that way, just like here it is, people can leave comments. People can
Oh,
interact. Email them, whatever, if they want more information.
Okay. I see what you mean. Okay, good.
Instead of like having a thing where like it's only going to happen during this stream and that's it.
That makes sense. No, sorry, man. I got a big stuff. Yeah.
I think like if you weren't there for the stream, then you're out.
I think the idea is I mean, I don't see any reason not to stream them live, but the idea is that they're something that people go to later
on YouTube afterwards.
So
you got both. But I mean,
so for the people that are diehard, they'll be there for the get-go, and then for the people that hear about it afterwards.
I mean, it's an interesting, this kind of takes us back to the community building. Like, if you have something at a specific time, then people can show up and do it. But you're really limiting the guests that you can do. I mean, this is a problem that we have with Music Monument is that, with Tom and I both doing it, it was like, these are the times that we're both available. And then if a person we wanted to interview wasn't available at that time, it just didn't happen. So, I mean, I think there's pros and cons to having like a couple people doing it. I mean, like I was able to take notes.
If people are serious, they will do the time.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair, but I mean,
because it's just like, well, I want to be on Jay Leno's show, but I'm not available at the time his show's on. Well, then, like,
I mean, but also I'm not Jay Leno. I mean,
I'm just saying, it's like you're providing a platform. You're like, here's our time.
He's filming his Doritos commercial tomorrow at 5:00.
You can't do. He's doing the Doritos commercial.
The Bill Hicks joke. You guys referencing the Bill Hicks jokes, I believe. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, not that it's not anymore, but I mean, just I watched a lot of Larry Sanders.
You know what? I don't know what the best way to do this is, but
the blood looks like a peacock on the back. He's a network man to the end. So.
Patches, are you still with us?
I'm with you. I'm. There's no way I'm chiming in when there's you two. Like a bird.
I tried.
So
rubber
nah, dude, you'd have burnt in this conversation, man. I'm saying.
That's what Bert always says.
I don't think we need to say any more on this conversation because I want to take care of the whole thing all by myself.
So these ones that are uploaded have historically not done well. I mean, there's 98, so we could go back, but recently they've not done super well. Like a lot of single digits, a few double digits. But these I uploaded after I was having problems with.
I only watch double D's.
With Jitsi and recording, and this one's kind of an anomaly, with 20, but the live shows we've had, the working sessions I don't really expect a lot of people to watch, but you can see that there's a lot more, like the early Obsidians in particular. For what we do is, had gotten some decent viewership, so I think I don't know if you guys knew Craig Maloney, but he passed away in March last year, and he ran the Open Metal Cast, and so he had cancer for a while, and I'd actually asked him if maybe I could take over the Open Metal Cast from him, and he was like, "Nah, I still want to do stuff with it." And so,
beyond the grave.
Well, I mean, this was, maybe that was part of him, just like,
this is going with me, man.
Like passing it on would have been like, giving up, maybe like, so, this was like 5 months before he passed. So I don't know how quickly things turned, but in any case, and then if you go back even further, then we were seeing double digits pretty much every time, and then decent comments. I mean, obviously we're not we're not lighting the world on fire with 7 comments, but you know, it's a lot more.
Take the obscene comments, hook them up.
What was that?
I'll even take the obscene comments. Hook them
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. You know, we were getting some likes. So, you know, the Obsidian stuff seemed to be a direction that YouTube at least had some interest in. But, you know, looking at these numbers, like, I think we have to ask, you know, a basic question: is it even worth the time to do the branded show? You know, like, do we need a show? You know, like William said the other day, hey, the world's not hurting for content. Like, do we actually need this? So, I mean, we've got a lot of other topics that we could talk about. So I guess that's the first, you know, now that we've kind of set some baselines for what we might be talking about, that may be the first thing we need to decide. Like, do we think it's worth it to put the time into something?
Well, you've been also saying about, you know, I mean, it's a trade-off of, do you do it live and then you've got the time limit, you know, of somebody being available. There's also, to me, there's a thing about video versus audio, which is like, just my experience. I don't know if anybody else's, but you know, if something's video, I'm just not gonna, it's hard for me to find that time to just sit there and watch something like, but I can play, you know, podcasts all the time. Right?
Yes.
I'm, you know, driving or working out or doing dishes or whatever the hell it is, laundry or whatever the fuck it is, you know, I can listen to something. And unless I'm looking for a video, you know, like a band's video or something, I don't know that I need the video for a lot of, you know, I want to hear the music, I want to hear the conversation, but we're pretty and all that, but I don't think we need to see our faces.
Yeah. Well, I know that PeerTube's working on audio only feeds. So, that would be. I mean,
how tough is it to make the whole thing into a podcast in the first place? You just take the file. There's things on your video.
I use WordPress, and then I've got a plugin, and I do my podcast that way. So that's the most basic thing. I upload the file to archive.org. So it's all super simple and cheap, and that's So
yeah, I mean, I don't see any reason. If it's going to be like an interview show, I mean, I think the format might change some things, but if it's going to be like there be guests or anything, I don't see any reason not to have the video, and then you can just strip the audio out for people that want just the audio.
Yeah, we'd have to. I would say we should put out both though, because I think most people are not going to strip it out unless they like. If I get a podcast episode in my feed, I'm going to listen to it. If there's a video, I'm not probably going to, I do it a lot, but I'm probably not going to go to the video and find it, rip it. And
I mean, just so this is mostly for people on the stream, the video, so they understand that, you know, PeerTube already has an RSS feed. So you can just put these into, you know, a podcatcher, and some podcatchers will even strip the video out for you, so it doesn't even like have to do that. Beyond Pod is what I use, and that does that. But
got it.
So I mean, another thing potentially,
the thing I had thrown up there is start small with like a monthly show that just kind of has segments for all the different things we're talking about doing separate shows for, and then see which of those maybe is popular and break that off. I don't know.
So the way that I branded the pilots was this thing that I called everything's open, and then the idea was just that, like, you know, we would the topics would just be whatever. Maybe it's worth. We got to 2, and then we sort of step back. So it sounds like maybe we think that it is worth doing something. So episode 3 here, I did just free culture music. And, you know, that one got some decent views. Al, which I know, Potsy, you guys know. I'm waiting
on this part 2 for the another single or something.
So he was talking about sending some stuff to Mike, so I don't know if that happened. So but yeah,
if you send it to Mike, then you know that I don't know what it is, because I mean, since the first and last single.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm saying like this was earlier this month than when we recorded this. This is let's see what the date was on this. Were you guys able to hear that? The autoplay on that? Okay, nah. It didn't check. That's fine. I just want I had to pause it because I was hearing myself. I'm looking for a date here. 2 weeks ago. I don't have a date, but I have. Oh, there you go. If you click on it, so the 8th is when we recorded this. So
I'm tracking as who owns the NFT now.
Yeah. But anyway, so the idea behind the CC Next was like it was a forward looking thing. You know, like I don't know, talking about you know, maybe one week we could talk about like what is the word? Guaranteed income. Basic income, I think.
Universal basic income.
There we go. I was like, I know some words. Clearly I haven't had enough coffee. So, you know, we could do like
universal.
Yeah. Big picture sort of things, like thinking about the future. That was sort of the idea here. So we talked about like
this is the fear mongering of AI talking with the universal basic income, because that's not going to kick in until everything's automated and robots or computer done, and all we're doing there is sitting there with food tubes. Then you're not going to get the.
I think that like, you know, Japan is in a much different situation than a lot of places in the world, though, because like, you know, you don't have enough workers, you know, in a lot of places.
It's going to be fun because every time they've got a program implemented, it just gets harshly abused.
Yeah.
Like there's like the foreign technical intern type thing, and it just super gets abused. Like people skating passports to just outright rape of people coming into the country.
Yeah.
To, like, do the jobs that people don't want to do, because people like graduate school, move to Tokyo. I want a job in an office, and that's the dream. Yeah. That's like all the kids that I teach out here. Like their whole goal is just like, I want to learn English to move to Tokyo to work in an office, and that is my life. The end.
So it sounds like when I have the UBI episode, I should have you on as the guest, Patsy. So. maybe I should have some like one pro and one against.
Let me know, man, because like that's the thing. Like as far as like a workforce of producing food, I mean, there's been like since pandemic, there's been a slow, very very slow thing of like just stay in your hometown, grow the rice.
Yeah.
You know, move out of the city, you won't get the COVID. But, you know, I mean, it's a very slow moving movement.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say it. I don't know that just for some context on my commentary on Japan.
Yep.
I think
I may have told you
this. I may have told you this. I don't remember. I think we're gonna come to Tokyo, just Tokyo, probably just Tokyo.
Hey, when?
In November of 2026. So I've been learning Japanese. Look, I can't say a lot. I can say konbini in Tokyo. You think I won't need even for like signs?
By the time of 2026, man, the phones will be just ridiculous. It's like, this is the shit I want for your menu. But here's the thing. They'll still try and charge you more because of the inconvenience of dealing with foreigners ordering off a separate menu.
Well, in any case,
that's an actual thing now, dude. That's an actual thing. Just like, well, if it's a foreigner ordering, then we have to have a special menu, and then somebody has to deal with them and shit. And just like, I go there, order Japanese, like, I fucking live here.
Yeah.
I'm not paying extra for nothing.
But yeah, I've been listening to Sightseeing Japan, which, funnily enough, the two dudes that do that podcast, they live in the Twin Cities. I need at some point to hit them up, but anyway.
Dude, they're next door, man. They're right there.
Yeah, I think they might be in St. Paul because they were saying some stupid ass shit, and I was like, I called them on it too, and but then like I was like,
send me a link to whatever they're talking about, man. I will debunk whatever.
Yeah. Well, they were talking about stuff in the Twin Cities. I mean, I think they weren't thinking it through because it's a Japan podcast, so they were just sort of like off the cuff. I was like, dude, that's so not true. But I think in retrospect, I think they were just like talking about St. Paul. And actually, I think they were talking about just downtown St. Paul. I'm like, okay, but you said the Twin Cities, and okay, I agree if you're just talking about downtown St. Paul, but that's not what you said. But in any case, I called them on it, and then I was like in their Discord, but I was like, but I did say if you are talking about downtown St. Paul, then I agree. And they both they thumbs up that comment that they were talking about St. Paul. So anyway, yeah, so there's that. And then this last one, I think that I saw Jason, I thought, pop up here
for a second.
Yeah, I don't know if he's at home. His internet is usually not very good, so hopefully he found a spot where he can do that. But I think he was liking this the CC Music news show. So you know, I'm not opposed at all to the monthly talk about everything show. Yeah, I mean, do we think that's just like a good way forward and we can talk about something else? What do you think?
Monthly everything show, man. Was going to be like a dartboard of topics? So
yeah, that's kind of the idea. And then you can look at views and see what people are talking. Views and like engagement and all that kind of stuff, and maybe move away from that if something really seems to stick with people.
Well, I mean, to start it with, like, somebody wants to come on and talk about, something, anything that, it's a good way to like pull people in, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think
if it's just them, them and their friends or whatever. It's like a bringer show for a band or something.
Yeah, I think that interview shows are good because then the interviewees they bring their followers. So I think that's even if it's not strictly speaking interviews, like the one that I did with Al was very much like it wasn't an interview. It was a talk about stuff that I knew that he could talk about. I had him introduce himself a little bit.
Speaking of our followers, we got to reconvene with Donnie Ozone.
Okay.
So we're gonna sign off because we got to hire him because he's part of like a bunch of projects we got going on right now.
Okay.
Right now, and we're gonna steal Long John too, probably.
Okay. Yeah. Well, when you guys get done with Donnie, send them over here.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, we will do. We'll put the heat on.
Thanks, guys.
All right. We'll talk to you guys later.
Yep.
Good to see you. Good to talk to him. And carry on, guys.
All right, fellas. Peace.
Later.
Peace.
How do I do this now?
So hit the are you on a laptop or there you go?
Yeah.
You figured it out. So do we want to just give this a whirl? Do we think we're done, or is there more to talk about?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Okay, cool. So before we go, let's pick one of these guys to talk about. Global orgs, global events, CC 25th, other licenses, streaming, local orgs. This one, streaming, might be good to have Rhino around for, so don't do that one. Local orgs, CC. This one's got to have Stoffel, so code of conduct, next meeting. Yeah, you got one you want to talk about? I moved translations because I don't know that we really need to talk about that. I mean, not with just you and I.
Right.
Anyway.
No, I don't know specifically the two of us.
Let's talk about local orgs because this is something that I don't think I've talked a lot about. But let's cut the stream, and then we'll start a new stream. We'll talk about it for like 20 minutes or something. We'll reconvene at are you at home in Central Time? Okay. So we'll reconvene at 9:35.
Okay.
Sweet. Stop.